neurochemistry and the way that you get this dopamine hit when you buy something, a luxury. Then see if you can find that hit by saving money, by investing money, by becoming a big money influencer.
Welcome to the Big Money Influencers Podcast. We talk with top influencers and experts to help you navigate and prosper in your business. It's all about creating wealth, legacy, and an online presence. Here's your host, Ceanne Livingston.
Welcome back. Ceanne, your host, and today I'm talking to Casper Fredrickson, entrepreneur and investor, and he's talking about legacy, cryptocurrency, and I'm excited to share with you what he has to say to help you build your portfolio and create more wealth in your life. Welcome, Casper.
Hi, Ceanne. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I'm excited to chat with you and to find out more about what you do and the framework that you're presenting today. With that, let me ask you, in a nutshell, what do you do?
I do online marketing, and I am an entrepreneur and an investor and a teacher, and of course a student, always a student first. But I teach online marketing and I help businesses generate a lot more leads and generate revenues online. And I am, as you can probably hear from my accent, I'm not natively speaking English. I'm from Denmark, doing my business here in Denmark and investing in.
Awesome. Is there a particular audience that you serve?
Well, that has actually changed a little bit over the years. When I first got into the industry, I got introduced to network marketing, and I did all the friends and family stuff, burned through the list rather quickly, and didn't get any results at all. I mean, that was not a good experience. So I jumped online to see if I could find a way to better results, and I found a coach that could help me get better results. And so I ended up actually helping them building their business. So we helped network marketers legacy wealth from their network marketing businesses using the internet. So as I was sitting in Denmark, I helped them build the business in the US. And that was a bit of a struggle, actually, because I was taking my master's degree in finance and strategic management. And I was sitting up until 4 a.m. to cold call people, or to call prospects, hot leads as well. And because of the time difference, I mean, now I'm in Denmark and you are in, well, the Pacific time zone. So it's the time difference does make it a bit of a challenge. Not 4 a.m. in the morning right now. So that's nice. We did help these network marketers, and then I moved on to help local businesses, and then I'm helping coaches, and actually a lot of coaches and online entrepreneurs get started online and generate leads and revenue.
So what are the problems that you solve?
Well, it's almost always, or they think they have a traffic problem, or they haven't got enough leads. And that is almost never the case, because I keep telling them that and that's also what we can talk about in terms of the framework, because it always comes back to this framework. I call it the ideal framework. Because it is the path to get the results that you want. But they want more traffic, they want more leads, they want more sales. So if they want more traffic, people also say you only have to focus on traffic and conversion. I think you have to focus on bonding in today's day and age, intimate conversation that you can have. So if you can increase the intimacy and you can bond with people online, so then you can increase your conversation and the conversion rate significantly. Traffic is not an issue, because you can simply just go to Google and buy it. You can go to Facebook and buy it. You can go to Instagram and buy it. So it's not a traffic problem. It's offer that you can afford. Or other, if it's not an offer problem, then it's an identity problem, because there's something holding you back from doing what you know you need to do. And that's what's keeping you from getting the results that you want, because of, I don't know, some stories that you tell yourself. So subconsciously, we're holding ourselves back. So what I'm helping them do, and actually it's rather easy. The more they pay me, the easier it is for me to simply tell them, advertise. They start advertising, they start generating results, and I look like a genius. And that's fantastic. And I think that all that I do is help them change their identity.
That's awesome. You mentioned a couple of words that both you and I are both very into. We know what leads are, we know what traffic is, and we know what an offer is, but some people might not know what those are. Can you explain what those three things are? Traffic, leads, and an offer?
In terms of traffic, I'm not talking about the traffic in the streets. I'm talking about eyeballs. So traffic online is eyeballs. It's people, it's human beings that are sitting in front of their computer screen or phones, tablet, whatever it might be. and searching for or browsing Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. That's traffic. So traffic is people that we can navigate into your funnel, into your offer, into your website, into your whatever it is that you have that you want to present. So that's traffic. Traffic equals human beings. Leads is human beings that is going to raise their hand and say, oh, I'm interested. I want that. So instead of saying, hey, look at me, I'm awesome. I think so. At least look at all my certifications and all my degrees, and I'm so amazing. So that's why I think you should listen to me. We flip the conversation and say, do you have this problem or do you deal with this issue? Then this might be for you. So what I'm saying is we try to generate some content or something that we can dangle in front of them on Facebook, on Instagram, on Google, whatever it might be. And then when they see it, they say, this could be me. That might be something that I could be interested in. And they can go on and then click and take a look at what it is. And it could be an audio. It could be a summit like this one. It could be a PDF document, an ebook. It could be a lot of different stuff. What it is something that solves their problem or an issue they have or something they are interested in. So that's leads. People saying, yes, I want that. So that could be people signing up for a newsletter or a webinar, or again, a summit. So you're watching this at a summit. So you were traffic when you got to the registration page, then you entered your email, you became a lead. And later on, if you purchased something, then you are a customer, right? So if you pay something, you'll become a customer. That means you have converted. So a conversion is traffic that comes to their website saying, yeah, I want that. That's a conversion. Then you become a lead. So the conversion rate is simply how many people are going to sign up to this summit. And how many people of those who sign up are going to purchase whatever is offered immediately afterwards. So conversions. If people go into a store or if they actually buy something. Traffic is people outside the store. When you become a lead, when you go into the store, and when you go up to the counter and you say, I want this, and you pay for it, then you become a customer, and that's a conversion. So a conversion happens when you go into the store, and another conversion when you purchase.
When you think of wealth, what does that mean to you?
Well, it means something different to me today than it did. But wealth is, and I think of wealth in multiple areas, in not just financial, but obviously that's a driver and the main focus of this summit. And I do believe that wealth is something that is good and fun, and it makes us able to do what we want to do, and it amplifies the person and the identity that we have. So if you're a good person, you become an even more extraordinary person. But that's also something we should talk about, because if you don't believe that money is good, you're not gonna make a lot of money. And what I just said was that I have changed it, because I have had subconscious stories telling me that money is not good, that I can make a lot of money, and I have made a lot of money, and then I've self-sabotaged, and I've built and burned and built and burned, and it's just a pretty hard work. So I would really recommend that people, they get a good understanding of their internal values and beliefs, true beliefs about money, because, and you, not what you think rationally, but on a subconscious level. Because if you have subconscious stories running saying, if you start to generate a lot of money, you become evil, well, then you're going to self-sabotage. You're going to do something stupid. You're going to invest in something stupid. You're going to self-sabotage. Then you can make it all back, because if you're an entrepreneur, you can probably find a group of people that you can solve a problem for, because that's what you do. And you can make a lot of money again. But unless you change the identity and your subconscious beliefs and values, you'll probably end up saying goodbye to that money again. So I think that's an important discussion to have, because it's something that I'm very aware of now, and something that I have been working on, because it's one thing is to make the money, another thing is to keep the money, and then invest the money. Obviously, that's
definitely. I mean, that's where we met. We met through Wake Up Warrior, which is definitely a program where you break down those stories,
yeah,
and those belief patterns. So with that, I want to just let you flow into your framework and share your knowledge and your expertise, and you have the stage.
So we can talk about this. My ideal way to become a big money influencer. An ideal is identity, decisions, education, action, and then that will lead to legacy. What I'm saying is stories are really important, and that is something that I've become very, very much aware of during my time with Wake Up Warrior. What I'm also saying is instead of trying to figure out what to do, figure out who you want to become or who you want to be. Not become, just start right now to be that person. So what I'm saying is, if you want to make a legacy, so legacy is the result. So you want to generate $30,000 in passive income. What actions will you then take? What education will you need? What decisions do you have to make? And then what identity does that require? So what I'm saying here is that the identity is the subconscious beliefs, the subconscious values that you have. One is that has been haunting me a lot is in terms of, well, right now I'm speaking English, and I don't know how many people who's going to watch this, and I'm not sure that I want to know, because I'm pretty confident that I say something wrong, or my pronunciation is not perfect. Well, when I was in school, we can stop sharing, I had an issue reading, and I was a dumb kid at school. So English was not easy for me. Then later on, when I took I just said that I had a master's degree in finance and strategic management. I failed the English test. It was in English, and so you had to pass an English test to get into class or into the education. So I didn't pass that test. So again, that's another. So the identity was not really, the circumstances didn't really support the identity that I wanted myself to become, this person. But I didn't accept it. So I took a different test. And even though the school didn't recommend that I studied at this master's degree in English, because it was going to be really hard, and it was. But I did it, and I have the degree now. I have not used it, so I'm not telling you because I have the degree. I don't really need it. I ended up teaching online marketing because I became good at that, and I studied finance and strategic management. That's not at all what we did at the education. That was something that I did after classes, between classes, and so on and so forth. I don't know if education is important, but you should have education that's gonna align with whatever it is that you want your actions to become, right? So, and you have to figure out what your vision is, or what the legacy is that you want to pursue and you want to attain, because then you'll make different decisions. And if we go back and take a look, we can see that the identity is the first step, and it's also actually the last step. So I don't know which way it goes, but the identity is really, really important, because if you don't believe, like I said, if I don't believe, I believe I can make money, but I don't really believe that I deserve it, because I somehow end up screwing it up, investing in risky investments, because the characteristics of an entrepreneur is not really valuable when it comes to investing. So I can take a lot of risk. I can push really hard and do a lot of, put in a lot of efforts and get some big results. I mean, my wife, she wanted to have her 30-year-old birthday in a garden. We didn't have a house, so we didn't have a garden, but I really wanted to buy a house. I had to take on this identity. I had to work really hard to make a lot of money so I could buy a house. 12 days before her birthday, we moved into our house, a really fancy house in a neighborhood where we don't really belong, because we came from a poor background. And again, I'm not sure that the identity really met up with these new standards, with my circumstances, because that's when I entered Wake Up Warrior. Because now I had made a lot of money. I've built this business, then I've fucked it up, and I invested in this house and in different assets. And now I stopped doing anything because I achieved my goal. So that's also something people should be aware of. Don't set a goal that you can actually hit, or at least set a new one, because you'll end up doing, well, not a lot. That's something that I would recommend. In terms of decision, that's the interpretations and the values that you have, and what decisions do you make. And we should talk about decision. What I'm really referring to here is the neurochemistry in the brain. So not just what do you decide, but why do you decide what you decide? Because like I said, I've made a lot of money, and how do I show that I am not fancy, that I have made a lot of money? Well, I buy this house and I buy a fancy car, right? Because in the end, and when you're young, well, not extremely, but what is that called? Especially young guys, when they make a lot of money, they start buying fancy cars so they can show the world, look at me, I have made a lot of money. I did that too. Again, stupid decisions, right? Because in the end, I think that your brain only wants two things. It wants to survive and it wants to procreate. And I want to show people that a status is important, because then I have resources and I can procreate and I can have a beautiful wife, and I do, and we can have kids and so on and so forth. So what I'm really referring to here is the neurochemistry in the brain and the decision. Why do we make the decisions that we make? Why did I buy these fancy things? Trying to get a hit of dopamine and a hit of endorphins and a hit of neurochemical brainwaves. I don't know what it's called in English. So we could show the world that we were making a lot of money, or at least that we did. And now we put it all into a house almost, and some into crypto and other investments. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that the neurochemistry, we have to change that. So what I'm recommending is that you change your neurochemistry and the way that you get this dopamine hit when you buy something, a luxury bag or shoes if you're a girl, if you buy something, an expensive watch if you're a guy, then see if you can find that hit by saving money, by investing money, by becoming a big money influencer. So if you change this feeling when you're buying stuff, and we all chase this feeling, we all chase this release of dopamines, and we all want these different feelings.
Learn the secrets entrepreneurs can use to create wealth and legacy. Discover exactly how the top 1% are building financial success, wealth, and a legacy quickly in their business. These are the only secrets you need to create wealth and legacy when it comes to building your online presence. When you visit bigmoneyinfluencerlive.com, you will get free access to the exclusive Big Money Influencers Live business kit. It teaches proven secret strategies that successful entrepreneurs are using daily to create wealth and legacy in their business. Foolproof methods established business owners are using to live and build wealth and legacy. We know you're busy, so we have convenient audios which include foolproof methods established business owners use to build wealth and legacy. Easy to follow binder notes. And if you're ready to 10x your online presence or ready to take your business online, you can book a call and discover how to get started. Visit bigmoneyinfluencerlive.com. That's bigmoneyinfluencerlive.com.
See if you can find that hit by saving money, by investing money, by becoming a big money influencer. So if you change this feeling when you're buying stuff, and we all chase this feeling, we all chase this release of dopamines, and we all want these different feelings. If we can rewire our brain so we can start to save money, so we can start to invest strategically, logically, and rationally, it's obviously it's always risky at some level, and we can talk more about what you should do with money, but you would become more successful in terms of investing. And that will lead you to legacy, the legacy wealth part, because then you would start to take action based on the education. Now you would seek education on what to invest in, meaning you start to do research. So I've done a lot of research in what to invest in inside of the crypto world. What's the media saying? The media is crying a lot of bullshit, especially in the US, about crypto and it's risky and all kinds of stuff. And what are all the millionaires and billionaires doing? Well, they're investing in crypto. Why are they doing that? If the media is saying that this is bullshit, started to do a lot of research, and that was the action. And that ended up turning into legacy. And so legacy is your investments. And what I think you should be investing in is not a specific thing, but in passive income. So that's instead of chasing cars and dreams and, well, not dreams, houses and so on, I am starting to become more interested in investing in income, passive income. So I'm going to buy stuff that give me money or generates me money or do stuff that will generate me money, more money, because I think that passive is the way. Also because I ended up sitting here in this house and I had everything I wanted, but I ended up depressed, not doing anything, not helping anybody, not doing anything, and not really feeling happy. So the major shift, the one thing that I changed, especially with Garrett and Wake Up Warrior, and one major realization I had was the identity. And when I talk about identity and the decisions, I'm not talking about this clothes you wear. I would have suited up in a suit if I didn't really care anymore. And I mean, this is not really a big money influencer outfit, but this is my outfit today. So this is what I'm wearing. So the identity is, are you a committed guy or girl? Are you empowered? Are you in integrity with yourself? Are you so on and so forth? So I'm not talking about the suit you put on or whatever it might be. But if you say you do something, do you do it? If you make a deal with yourself, do you actually keep it? And that was not me. That is me today. And that has made a major difference. And again, I'm not saying that you can just make a lot of money like that and you can start to get a lot of passive income. An example, I have just bought this Garmin watch, right? Because that's what runners do. They have some stuff so they can track the activities. And I'm running a marathon in a month, or at least that's my intention. If we go back for, I don't know, 4 months, I couldn't run because I had some issue with my knee, actually both knees, but the right one was really bad. So I started walking, and I started walking every single day between 1 and 3 hours. So back to the identity. What does a runner do? A runner's run. Runners, they run. But if I couldn't run, at least I could walk. I started doing stuff differently. I started making different decisions, meaning my actions were different. And hopefully, legacy, I will end up running a marathon. I don't know how long it's going to take. I still get my knees are sore from today as well. I've just ran 10.5 miles this morning. That's not the point. My point is that I started small. And the compounding effect by simply walking for an hour or 3 hours every single day for 2-3 months it made a massive difference. Then I ended up running, and the compound effects. Now I can easily run 10 miles. Can I easily run a marathon? I don't know. I have never done that, but we'll see. Another thing actually that you should be aware of is that you should consider is it might not be easy to change that identity and make the right decision and so on and so forth. So you should probably seek some guidance along the way. So I have had a personal trainer. I've had a weight loss expert help me with my diet, and I have helped, and now I have a running coach. Again, I'm not just thinking it and then it's gonna materialize. What does a runner do? Runners run. What does a serious runner do? Well, a serious runner probably gets help and see if he can find a way to do it. So it's not possible today to run a marathon, or at least not 4 months ago. But today it might be. In a month, it definitely will be, because it has to be. Because like I said, that's my identity. I'm committed. So I cannot not run a marathon. Well, I could. I mean, I could pass out or something. But are you committed? That's what I'm asking. Changed your identity. Oh, actually, the one thing that I said that changed a lot for me since joining Warrior. Are you happy, joyful? Because if you are, and I was not, like I said, when I got in, I was depressed. I was, and when I say when I got into Warrior, and when I achieved all of my dreams, I got the house, I got the girl, I got everything. What more do I need? Except then a purpose, except then something to hunt down, except something to actually go for, right? I got depressed because I stopped creating, because I stopped pursuing, because I stopped doing. But I changed recently, got really good at being more joyful and more happy, regardless of the circumstances. Or at least I think so. I'm trying to be more joyful and more happy, and regardless of the circumstances. And that's important. And I know that you cannot be angry and happy at the same time, but I can switch really quickly, because I can rewrite this story or the interpretation of what is happening rather quickly in my mind. So I can see it from a different angle, and that helps me tremendously from being really pissed off. And instead of being really pissed off, and I still get really pissed off, so don't get me wrong, but then I can see it from a different narrative and say, okay, so I don't necessarily agree with you, but I can see it from your perspective, and here's the lesson that I learned from it. Okay, let's move on. Let me go back to my happy state of being. And I'm not saying that I'm this la happy guy. I'm just saying that I believe that you can attract, you can build, you can create a lot of stuff when you're happy. Because a lot of people, and I think this is what I'm trying to say, a lot of people are waiting to become happy when they get whatever it is. What I realized was that I got depressed when I got it. So now I'm doing it backwards. Now I'm simply deciding I'm going to be happy now, today. oh, but Casper, you already made the money. You have the house, you have the girl. Yeah, but I can find a lot of problems or issues that I could be pissed off about, right? So it doesn't really matter where you're at. Decide to be happy and work from that place, because then you're going to attract a lot of good stuff in your life and build a lot of good stuff.
One of my coaches has a saying, money follows joy.
Yeah, I believe that is true. I've never heard that, but I mean, I can tell you that I'm 1,000% more productive when I'm joyful than if I'm pissed off. So I really do believe that is true. And again, happiness is, so we're all chasing this dopamine hit, right? So we're all chasing this pleasure. So when you're buying your Gucci shoes, or when you're buying your MacBook Pro or your new iPhone 12, I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy this. I have an iPhone 12. I have this new watch. I have a tablet here. I have all kinds of stuff because, sure, I can rationalize and tell myself I need it because I'm just like the rest. But I'm buying stupid shit because marketing people are really good at it, making us buying stuff. The dopamine hit, if you can change that so you can get that dopamine hit every time you put money into your investment account. So that's actually one piece of advice that I would give. So have some vehicle, or at least have in a bank account that's going to be your investment account or your legacy account, and put money into that. And every time you do that, and it doesn't matter whatever the amount is, every time you get money, pay yourself first. Pay yourself a percentage of whatever it is that you get, and you'll start to see that you become more happy, more joyful, and the compound effect is just gonna, make you wealthy. And if you invest it strategically, if you invest it wisely, you will most likely end up investing in stuff, and they could be real estate, or real estate that's gonna give you a passive income. That's smart investing, in my opinion, because then it's not just investing, so you can hope to get a big score, but you can actually get the money every single month. You can also invest in dividend stocks. You can invest in crypto that's going to pay you every month, or whatever it might be, in RV parks. You can invest in a lot of different stuffs, but invest in stuff, or at least invest also in stuff that's going to make you passive income, because then when you get the money that you need to pay your bills, you are truly free to create whatever you want, because now you can do whatever you want with whomever you want, whenever you want, and so on and so forth. So passive is the way.
Casper, what was the first investment that you tried when you first began?
When I first began investing, I think my grandfather introduced investing to me. He was picking up a lot of bottles when he was walking his dog, and then he asked me if I wanted to buy these bottles. And I could buy them for, I don't know what the value was, but when you would go to the store with all of these, you would get money in return, right? Mm-hmm. And I could buy, so I had to make an effort, but I could buy them for 2/3 of the value, I think, or half the price. I'm not really sure. Yeah, definitely, that's a good investment. So he was just teaching me a lesson here, and I was buying, not income in this case. It was just value. So I didn't want to give him my money because that was my money. I wanted my money. I could buy some toys with it. I don't want your trash. But this trash ended up making me able to buy more stuff. But never did I realize that I ended up, even when I was 14, I ended up buying a Bang & Olufsen stereo, a really fucking expensive stereo. And I didn't really listen to music. I'm not really into music. Again, I was just chasing this feeling, this dopamine, this status feeling. So look at me. We were never inside of my room. We were always outside playing. So nobody really saw it. So it was a really stupid investment. So I think that was the first investment, the first time I got introduced to investing.
That's awesome. I mean, I've had little kids come to my door asking for their little recycled cans, because here in California it's like 5 cents a piece. And it really can add up, especially for a kid to buy toys. That's really smart of your grandpa.
Yeah, that's and so it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you are picking up all of these cans for an entire summer, it's a different story. Just like investing, when the compound effect is tremendous. And if you invest in something that's going to pay you passive income and you reinvest it, or you can take some of it and play with it, but that's going to make a difference as well.
Yeah. And your grandpa was building legacy.
Yes. He was a guy who he had a lot of money. He had his own business. And actually, in terms of decisions and values, I think that's where it came from, because he was the kind of guy who had, I don't know, what's then US dollars, 20,000, sometimes $10,000 in his pocket here. Because when people came to his, don't know what that's called, but his company, when he was buying stuff, he always wanted to have money. When we were on vacation, he always also had money on him, so he could buy for a plane ticket home, whatever would happen. So he didn't rely on credit cards and so on and so forth. So, but what I'm saying is he had a lot of money and he looked at things differently. But my grandmother, she was a stay-at-home grandmother. They had my uncle, and they also had two girls, one of them being my mom. My uncle, he is today very successful. He's making a lot of money because he was going with grandpa and having these different storylines, right, imprinted in him. I think, simply believe that he sees things differently, because my mom, she's a caretaker. She takes care of old people. So she's very empathic. She's very helpful. And my uncle, not that he's not, but he's running this business. And so my mom she wants security, she wants safety, she wants to help people. My uncle is willing to take risk. And I think that I have a little bit of both. But I'm battling the one with being empathetic or empathic, or because I want to help people. I want to save you. I want to jump in and say, oh, I can help you. You just have to do this. Come on, let me help you. Let me save you. And I also have realized that I can't do that. I can't really save anybody. Well, I can save somebody, but I'm not going to if they're not willing to be saved. Yeah. So I think that's also something that I didn't realize, that these stories, they might have come from my grandfather and grandmother, and the values they gave to their kids, and how different their lives are. Because my mom and dad, they're not poor, but they are definitely middle class, and they are working a lot. My father, I don't know anybody who has worked as hard as he has. He got up at 3 or 4 and came back home between 7 and 10. He was working a lot. And I had a lot of stuff growing up, but he was not making legacy money. He was not making a lot of money. And also, back to my self-sabotaging story. So I could set up an online campaign, an online promotion, and I could have it run. And I did. And I can't really tell you why I stopped this campaign, but I did. I think that it's because I had some guilt and shame and stuff like that in my subconscious mind about money, because it couldn't be that easy. It couldn't be that, because my father, he worked really, really hard. I mean, I showed up every 14 days for an hour on a Facebook live call answering questions, and I made 20,000, I think, a month for 2-3 hours of work. That's not possible. It couldn't be. That's so self-sabotage. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's a big story that a lot of people have running in their subconscious. Work is hard.
Yeah.
To make money, you have to work hard. For me, growing up on a ranch with horses and animals, and that was our business. We had an Arabian horse business. And to make the good money, you had to work hard. So, I mean, that's a story for a lot of people. And breaking that story, that could be the thing that's keeping you back from being wealthy.
Yes, definitely. I mean, society is trying to manipulate you into thinking that it's hard, that you need an education. And I'm not saying that you don't need an education. Well, I'm not saying that education is not valuable, but I'm saying that you don't have to have a high-paying degree or get a high-paying job and have a fancy degree to make a lot of money. You have to provide value. And if you can provide value for some people who find it valuable, who are willing to pay you, you can make money. If you take that money and you invest it, you can make even more money. So it has nothing to do with degrees or knowledge. I mean, I'm sitting here speaking English with you about investing and making money, and I failed English. So it's
true. Even with my marketing and communication degree that I spent a lot of money on, most of the things that I've learned through coaching programs or like just online marketing, YouTube videos or through a coach, marketing coach, through Garrett or some type of thing that I found online.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got value from my $80,000 communication degree, but most of that stuff was just principles and wasn't strategy.
Yeah, definitely. And also, so you probably also, like me, studying a lot, and you're trying to find the answers in the books. And let me just give you a piece of advice. Just go. Just see what sticks. So just try something, because when you take action, you'll learn. And if you can change this story about taking action and failure, it's not that difficult to take action, because failure is not an option. It's not failure until you stop. And I know people say that, but do you really believe it? Because everybody has heard it. But if you believe it, you would take more action and you'll start to learn stuff. So instead of learning from reading in a book, I would simply start taking action. I would start running multiple different ad campaigns or different funnels or different experiments, different whatever it might be, and see which one worked best. And I would hire someone instead of spending a lot of time. Like I said, I hired in terms of my marathon, I have all the gadgets and I am doing the work, but I have also hired 3 different individuals to help me achieve that goal. So whenever I have a goal, I'm not trying to cheat my way to it, but I'm trying to shortcut. No, not shortcut. I'm trying to eliminate the resistance and the failure that I'm going to experience by simply having other people's experiences and help me guide me through whatever vision that I have.
And you said shortcut. It doesn't, that's a word, a story that can keep us down too, because you are taking a shortcut, and shortcut often means like cheating or something. But hiring a coach, through their experience, they are giving you a shortcut.
Yes.
Because you're buying their knowledge, their expertise, and their strategies.
Yeah, definitely. And it's also a shortcut to bypassing all of my bullshit stories, so I can make a clean decision faster, saying yes or no. Not if, not when, whenever, not does it have to be, am I committed or am I not? What does a committed person do? And actually one very helpful question that you and I and everybody could ask ourselves is, when we are in doubt, when we want to buy something, when we want to do something, just sit back, relax, breathe, and ask yourself, okay, if I truly and deeply loved myself, what would I do? If I truly and deeply loved myself, what would I do? Would I then do this or this? Because then the higher self or the ego or the I don't know what it's called. We can call it, if it could be God, I don't know. But you will get an answer. And that answer is almost never wrong. At least that's, I should probably have a disclaimer here. I mean, for me. So take it, use it if you want, but.
I love that. That's if I truly loved myself.
If I truly and deeply loved myself, what would I do? Because all these rational thoughts about, oh, that's expensive. Oh, that's no, that's not going to work. Oh, that's, well, so on and so forth. All of these different stories, because that's what it is. Your life is, if we take a look around us, our life is made up of our stories, of our subconscious level, and the stories that we run, the stories that we tell ourselves. Back to money. Is money hard? Is it hard to make? Or is it easy to make? Do we become evil if we have money? So on and so forth. What is the stories? What is the stories about the relationship? What is your stories about health, food, love, so on and so forth? So it's all based on stories. And what I found was, if I wanted to change that story, I should obviously work on myself. But if I wanted to do it faster, I should get help. And I do that every morning. I get help from sit with myself, and I contemplate and I think and I try to see if I can. If I truly and deeply love myself, what would I do, right? But I also hire someone to see. Okay, could you give me a perspective? I'm struggling. I want to run a marathon. I can't run. I mean, I can't really. Oh, actually, that's a good example. I can't run. So I started walking, like I said, and every day. I walked for between 1 and 3 hours for almost 3 months. Then I hired a running coach, and he said, okay, so we need to see how fast you can run 10 kilometers. I don't know what that's in miles, but 10 kilometers. Then I said, I don't know if I can run. I mean, I just ran 3 kilometers and I think I'm ready to start running. Yeah, but we need to see how fast, not if. I kept pushing, saying, I don't know if I can run it. He kept saying, so his storyline was not if I could do it. He simply wanted to see how fast I could do it. So it didn't allow me to buy into, well, at least he didn't buy into my bullshit stories about maybe I couldn't do it. So what happened? I started running. How far did I run? 10 kilometers. And then I sent him the result. And I can't remember how fast it was. But that's not the point. The point is that I was having doubts if I could do it. He didn't buy into that, meaning I started to change my story, saying, maybe it's possible. Let's go. And then I simply did it. And now I'm hopefully going to, and I say hopefully because I still have some issues with my knees that I'm battling here, but we'll see what happens. But like I said, I'm committed, and he's not letting me back down, not even with COVID. Not going to buy into any excuses. Let's go, Casper. You hired me. You said you were committed. We're going to finish this. Okay, we'll finish it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I really believe that. So that's also in terms of shortcut. So that's a major shortcut because that bypassed this. Oh, I don't know if I never ran before. I never did that. I'm not sure if I can. And blah blah blah. Hire someone to. Well, maybe if it's appropriate. But if you want to build legacy wealth, you should probably start to do and act from a place where you truly and deeply love yourself, and do whatever that person who has already generated that result and work from that vision as if you have attained and achieved that vision. And I'm not saying that you should. So I don't want to explain what I just said, because I'm not saying that you should start buying bullshit, and I'm not saying that you should post all these fake pictures. So I'm not saying that. I am saying that you should work from a place where you have already achieved the goal. So if we're talking about financial goals, if you have achieved a lot of financial success, you don't really need to buy a lot of different stuff because you already know that you're financially successful, and you'll start to act differently. You'll start to make different decisions, and that will change your neurochemistry in your brain and so on and so forth. So that's what I mean when I say act as if you have already achieved it. Because if you start to work towards it, you're going to do stuff, do a little more, get a little different results, and try a little more. What I'm saying is you should be something before, be something so you can have more. So you'll do stuff differently, so you'll have the different results. So identity, and that will then determine the decisions. So be something else. Become this, go from a caterpillar into a butterfly, and then work from the butterfly stage. And again, if you then, like me, have to walk every single day for 3 months, or 1 to 3 hours every single day for 3 months, well, that's what is needed. But I'm capable of running a marathon. Not today because I can't really run. But what does a runner do? A runner run. So, and if I can't run, then I walk. So change your identity, write your own story, write your own narrative, and change it today. All it takes is a different story. I know that sounds like motivational bullshit, but it's I found it to be true. You can just change the story, and if you are able to identify the subconscious bullshit that's holding you back, because we all have it. We all feel some invisible force field that's holding us back, whatever it might be. In my case, my clients, they're not advertising. So they spend a significant amount of money to hire me. And then they simply say, I can't afford advertising. Okay, so let me get this straight. So you just paid a lot of money for me to tell you what to do, and then we don't have any money to advertise? And they have money in their bank account, so it's not true. They have money. They just they don't want it because it's risky, or it's not worth it, or whatever it might be. And now we can work backwards, and we can figure out. We can fix it. We can set it up so it's going to become profitable, and we can rewrite the story. But they should simply start advertising. They don't really. They might have to hire me to help them fix everything else, but you can get going today. Or if you want to run a marathon, you should simply just start walking. Change your relationship with food, with exercise, and with health, and you'll become fit. If you want to become rich, change your story about money and stop having these negative feelings and stop treating it like it's bad. And think of money as your wife, if you appreciate and love your wife or your husband, because I assume that's a better story that you'll then have about money.
Wow, that's amazing. Never thought about that before.
Yeah, so appreciate it, love it, value it, have fun with it. I was about to say do whatever you want with it. You probably can't do whatever you want with your wife or your husband, but you get what I'm saying. And then invest in something that's going to generate you passive income. So passive is the way.
So Casper, do you have any other ideas or tips or anything that you want to share before? I definitely want to give you an opportunity to share where people can find you. Acknowledge that we've been talking a lot about Wake Up Warrior. So
I would say that it doesn't matter how much or how little that you have to invest in. And this is obviously, now I'm not a financial advisor. So don't listen to me as education. Well, it's just education. It's just for fun, whatever I'm saying now, right? The opportunity that we have with crypto is tremendous. And the timing is insanely good right now. And I think that most people will say, what? Didn't I miss the boat? Yeah, you did, in terms of Bitcoin and the alternative coins that is tied up to Bitcoin. So they all rose in value, and you've probably missed out on that. But there's another area that you should be looking into. And in 2021, I think that the talk of the town in crypto is the DeFi and the decentralized investments. So if you can find valuable investments in this area, you'll be able to make a lot of money. And I can give you an example, and this is just to illustrate my point. On the January 16th this year, I invested $500. Well, actually $450, because the minor fee was insanely high. So $450 of value in my crypto wallet. And let me tell you right now, the exact value of it right now. $20,325. Wow. So $450 turned into $20,325. Now, am I saying that you can make that? No, obviously, I just made that in this investment. But I'm saying that there's an overlooked potential in the markets. There's some tiny alternative tokens, and think of it as stocks. So what I'm saying is invest in companies that are into this DeFi. And I'm not sure we have time to talk about it, but what I'm saying is the potential is insane. And when everybody is going to buy into crypto, and it has become, the reason why I say it's the best time to do it is because it is a legitimate investment now, and it is overtaking gold as an institute and as an investment. So a lot of people are selling their gold to buy crypto. So I'm not saying that you should sell all of your stocks, all of your real estate. I'm saying allocate a portion of your portfolio into crypto. And I think you should have some of these investments that are in DeFi in your portfolio. And when you ask me where they can find more, I can give you the exact names where you can find what it is that I'm referring to. But invest something, because you can generate legacy wealth in crypto with small portion size. I mean, $500 or $450 just turned into $20,000, and I think it's going to increase significantly more. And I think that's happening to a lot of different tokens in crypto. And I'm not saying that I'm an oracle. I'm not saying that it's risk-free. I'm saying this is a legitimate asset class. That's essentially what I'm saying. So that's also why I'm saying it's the best time to invest, because it is legitimate right now. Institutional money are pouring into this space. So we just saw that the Bitcoin just rose. Like the price went up vertically, I don't know, 2-3 months ago. And didn't you miss it? Well, again, yeah, maybe Bitcoin. But I think it's going to go even higher when institutions are coming in. I mean, Elon Musk, he bought what, 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. He put US dollars into Bitcoin, meaning Tesla bought it. So the big companies are now buying. PayPal are buying every Bitcoin they can find. Square are buying every Bitcoin they can find. People, big companies and millionaires and billionaires are investing heavily. And then we have a small time investor like me. Well, at least compared to these guys, then I'm insignificant. And I mean, I'm just saying that $500, and if you invest $500 into multiple assets, into cryptos, and you diversify, it doesn't really matter if I lose on 5-6 investments, because I've just made it from this one and I'm still in profit. So I'm not saying that you should spend a lot of money here. I'm saying that you should invest in some and be smart about it. Do as a hedge, treat it like a hedge fund. So you have your own hedge fund, meaning you have equally position sizes, regardless of how fantastic you think an idea is. Then you are probably not going to get burnt. Again, back to being smart in the decisions, right? Because I would just take all of my money and put it into something that I really love, and then I would lose it all. I'm not going to do that anymore. Now I'm trying to rationalize, be smart about it, and think like an investor. And then I'm also going to put some money into another thing. The second reason crypto is really, really hot right now is because I don't know if you have negative interest rates in the US yet, but you will. So we have it in Denmark. So it's costing me money to have money in the bank. What? Yeah, and that's going to happen in the US as well. So so you can actually have your cash savings invested in crypto, not in Bitcoin, just in some token that's tied up to the value of the US dollars, and you can easily get it out. Don't worry. But you'll then start to make 6, 7, 8, 10% from that just by having it stored there. So the banks are going to be in trouble. And yes, it is backed, and yeah, we can talk more about that in a different day. And the third is you can invest in cryptos that's going to pay you dividends, like dividend stocks. So you can actually start making money from having, one thing is they can increase in value, and the second thing is you can have passive income from these cryptos. So I'm not saying you should, again, I'm not saying put all of your money in cryptos, but I'm saying if you don't have money in crypto, you should definitely do it. And you should do it in some way that you can have some passive income come your way. That would be the smart move. And then obviously real estate is also a good move. And that depends on where it is and so on and so forth, right? Just like in crypto or RV parks or dividend stocks. And so diversify. But if you have not yet looked into crypto, if you are not yet looked into passive income, I would highly recommend it.
Definitely. Those are some amazing opportunities that you just shared. So I want to, we had talked a lot about Wake Up Warrior and Garrett J. White. So I do want to share a little bit about him if someone wants to connect with him, because we talked about Wake Up Warrior, Garrett J. White, and his program, which he has these amazing apps that help you break up your stories. Both Casper and I have spent quite a bit of time, and we've had a lot of changes based on that program. But so if you want to learn how to break up your patterns and your thinking and your stinking thinking, check out Wake Up Warrior. And but back to this conversation, how do you have a coaching program or an offer or something that people can connect with you to find out more about investing, coaching, or how can they connect with you, and do you have an offer?
They can go to passiveistheway.com, and they can find out more about investing in passive income, and specifically what I do and what different small cryptos that I suggest that you invest in, and the different networks, and this way that you can get these 7%, 10% from your holdings, and just by holding your crypto, your Bitcoin or your US dollars in tokens on these exchanges. and making passive income from it, from crypto. So yeah, if you want to learn more about these specific recommendations, go to passiveistheway.com, and you'll learn more about specifically what I think that you should invest in and why. And I really do believe that it's, well, you can just start looking up the internet. I mean, when I say I believe, again, it's not really me. I'm just small guy here looking at all of these billionaires. What are they doing? So I stopped listening to the media, started following the money, saying, oh, wait a minute. So the media is saying, crying wolf, saying Bitcoin is a scam, Bitcoin is blah, blah, blah. 3 times has it crashed. Every time it got up significantly more the next time, right? But they don't cover that story. They just say, hey, it crashed. Yeah, but even if you got up last time, if you got Bitcoin at the peak, you'll still be up 3 times your investment now, if you were able to sit through and not sell it. Anyway, so learn more about it in passiveistheway.com, my specific recommendations, because yeah, you probably missed the train in regards to Bitcoin, but like I just said, 450, and I can't promise you that, but just saying the opportunity is real. And I think that more of these big jumps are going to happen in my portfolio. So if you want to see my portfolio, essentially that's what I'm saying. If you want to see my portfolio in the DeFi space, you go ahead and go to passiveistheway.com. And I'll also share with you some ways that you can make passive income from crypto and how you can make these return on investments by having your money stored. So passiveistheway.com.
That's awesome. I'm certainly going to check that out. I definitely missed the train when it came to Bitcoin. Quite a few years ago, I had an opportunity. I think it was at $1,100 or something, a coin. And I was scared to get into it. It's just like, what is this? It was really new. And, my friend that introduced it to me later on that year, she had made her first million with Bitcoin because she was right in the pocket. And, then the person that created the Bitcoin, I don't remember his name, Steven or something. And yeah. And then he had his next thing, he had whatever next coin that was, and getting into that and just getting into that world that I was introduced to and say, no, thank you. I missed the boat. And it was mostly just fear and lack of having that initial investment and not knowing, having the knowledge. So definitely learning the different strategies, and that risk is okay.
Yeah. And again, so not too much, not your entrepreneurial risk, because that's gonna end up badly. Most likely. So don't do that, but invest strategically and smaller position sizes. So it doesn't have to be just $500, but I think that just $500 can make you a significant amount of money. It could also be just $200 in each idea. But I understand why this fear is kicking in with people, and I'm pretty confident. And some people are feeling of thinking that I'm an idiot right now because I suggest that crypto is the way. I mean, we have all these different big guys. JP Morgan, the guy, what's his name? Jamie Foxx, back in 2017 from JP Morgan, he called Bitcoin a fraud, and it crashed. But who was buying Bitcoin? JP Morgan. So all of these Wall Street guys, they are trying to manipulate, and they have been able to do that so they can get in at a cheaper rate. So all the rest of us, we're going to dump Bitcoin because, there's a story. The CEO, his name is Jamie Dimon. That's his name, Jamie Dimon. And they started buying Bitcoin. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, Ray Dalio from BlackRock. Also, I can't remember what he said, but something. But what you should notice here is that the resilience of Bitcoin now, and when it drops, it gets back up really, really fast. So that should just tell you that this asset class is mature. Now it's not, you can manipulate it as easily as you have been able to. Meaning you're not too late, but you soon will be. Because think about it, if like, what is it called? Square, I think. PayPal and Square, they're buying, like I said, every single Bitcoin mined that they can. So Square, they have 8,027 Bitcoins. That represents 5% of their total asset class that they're holding. If every pension fund and every big investment or investor, if they just took 5% of all of their investments. So I'm not saying that they should dump stocks and all of that. I'm just saying if we take 1 to 5% and put that into crypto, are you kidding me? There's not a lot of money in crypto. There's a lot of media attention, but there's not a lot of money yet. What happens when a lot of money comes into this space? Prices will increase. So Bitcoin will definitely increase. Will it go up 40 times like this investment back in February and 2 months later? No, probably not. But the alternative coins, they will, because people, they start to invest in Bitcoin, then they look at these different alternative coins. For the most part, they start to look at Ethereum as the next one. And then they start to do a little research. They start to do a little digging, and then they invest in these alternative coins. In the stock market, it would be like an equivalent to a penny stock, but not as risky as a penny stock, I think. I might be wrong, but the potential is just phenomenal. And I think that 2021 is going to be a tremendously profitable year for people who have just a little bit of money inside of crypto and who is doing different stuff with crypto.
That's exciting. I want to be one of those people. Investing in the right coins. Well, thank you, Casper, for being with us today. I'm going to let you get on with your day and spend your, is it Sunday or Monday where you're at?
Sunday. Yeah,
get out. It's getting late in the day for you, so letting you get back with your family and enjoying your beautiful house. And
thank you. And thank you for having me. And again, it's passive is the way, not just passivisttheway.com, because I want you to go to my website. Obviously, I want that. But because I really do believe that the way to build legacy, generational wealth, is to have, true financial freedom. So start to make different decisions, change your identity so you can make different decisions. So you'll start to seek out the right education so you can take different actions so you can end up having this legacy. So you will have become a big money influencer. The ideal way to become a big money influencer. I hope it was helpful. I hope you were able to understand my pronunciation and
yes,
that you took something from it.
Came a long way with your English.
Excellent.
Yeah, very, very good. I don't think your instructor would give you a flunk out today. Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you so much for being here.
To discover the secrets entrepreneurs are using to create wealth and legacy, visit bigmoneyinfluencerslive.com. And here's a big ask. If you love this podcast, will you take a minute to subscribe, review, and give us a 5-star rating? Be sure and share with your friends and family. And thank you for listening.